Hi.
Hey, we're so good at making promises.
We're
Like
good
that
at
one
it.
time I said we were going to launch this on Thursday and now it's Friday. But like
Listen,
shit be happening.
listen.
Life
We're
be
learning
happening.
a lesson, and the lesson is to only make vague promises, not specific ones tied to days. And
Yes.
we'll do that next time.
Yeah. You know what? Life's been fucking psychotic. But
Yeah.
if you're new here, you may be like, who the fuck are they and why the fuck are they talking about
And
crazy lives?
where am I?
Where am I? Welcome to Say Smut, a literary podcast for readers and non-readers.
That is Sarah, and she loves books.
And that is Hope. She loves talking to me about books. Each episode I did what?
Each
What
episode,
do I do
I
after each episode?
lose it.
Each episode, I lose the ability to speak. Each episode, I break down the plots of some pretty wild books to Hope, who has not read them.
Mm-mm.
You know, we kicked off spooky season earlier this week,
We
and
did.
we're giving a double feature because we started late. But I think we're going to take a sweeter moment today.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
How do you feel about like autumnal dates?
I love an autumnal date.
What is maybe a date you have gone on? It could be recently, it could be in the past, that has been very autumnal to you.
I once had a surprise picnic. This was in high school. I was like blindfolded by one of my high school boyfriends and his friends. Some of them were girls and I trusted them, so it's not as frightening as it sounds,
Yeah,
although it
yeah,
does
yeah.
sound terrifying. And then they drove around for a while, so I'd be confused. But when we stopped driving, we were at a park and it was fall and there was a picnic laid out and it was very autumnal.
Aw.
It was very fun. There were squirrels in the tree above us that would like spit stuff at us, so that part was kind of annoying. But other than that, pretty much 10 out of 10 autumnal picnic.
That's so darling.
Yes.
Well, we're going to go on a date today, you and I.
Yay.
Don't tell your husband. I know he's in the same room as you, but
This is between us and everyone who listens
this
to
is
this
between
podcast,
us.
including
and-
my husband, who I do think listens to this podcast
Aw.
sometimes.
Well, we are going to read Trick, which is one of two books by Shae Sanders. The other one, as you can probably guess, is Treat.
Of course.
So this is the Halloween stories by Shae Sanders. And I want to give content warnings really quick. We only have sexual content and brief mention of a side character being pregnant. So it's not going to be like a part of the book or
Sure.
like, you know, but there is a side character who is pregnant and there are some funny jokes made.
I see.
So
I see.
on Storygraph, it has a 3.42 and on Goodreads, it has a 3.59. So those are pretty comparable.
Close in margin.
This is Shae Sanders' bio from her, I think, Amazon account, like author account. Quote, I am Shae Sanders, and I practically cut my teeth on my big sister's Jackie Collins novels, which I had no business reading, but they stoked my love of edgy and steamy romance set against the backdrop of business and power. Now I write romance too, but my characters are Black women like me. In my spare time, I read, watch TV. Sorry, I don't know why I read that way. Read, watch TV, eat lots. Why can't I talk? This
You
is
can
so
do
difficult.
it, Sarah.
I can do it. It's just a few more words. Eat lots of sweets. I want to say treats because
Sweets
now
and
I'm thinking
treats.
trick or
And
treat.
treat. I understand.
Ugh.
I understand
Okay.
exactly.
Our girl Shae eats lots of sweets
Mhm.
and pretend I'm going to start a workout regimen tomorrow. Always tomorrow.
Always tomorrow.
We love that, Shae. That is oh so relatable. After I've ate so much Halloween candy, it's stupid. But as I jump in, I want to ask you a question, my friend, as I typically do at the beginning of these. If I had not met you when you were already dating your husband, and for some reason I were to set you up on a date, okay?
Yes.
And I were to tell the person you're going on a date with to plan the worst possible date for you, like your personal hell, what do you think that would be for you? I'm thinking crowded spaces.
I don't love crowded space. That's true.
Yeah. I'm thinking, oh, gosh, what's like the worst possible situation I can get you into? maybe something with a performance aspect like karaoke.
I enjoy karaoke. That would not be a nightmare for me.
But like with a guy you don't know or like strangers you don't know.
No,
Okay.
I'm honestly still that no. My time at the marketing firm really changed my thoughts and feelings on karaoke.
That's fair.
But yes, I would say, let me think about this. Something where it's incredibly hot and there's a lot of people is gonna make me stress out and panic. So really, any situation that would be like that, with the exception of obviously a concert if I can plan in advance.
Yeah. No, this is a surprise. You don't know.
Yes, this is a surprise. I would have no idea.
That alone would make you probably pretty anxious.
The not knowing already would be really straight up. It almost doesn't matter what the date would be because the premise of the date being that I wouldn't know who or what it was beforehand would make me so immensely nervous that's already kind of my worst nightmare.
And making you drive a distance.
Yes.
I think that would make, yeah. Okay. Well, now that I've outlined all of your fears and anxieties going into this book, I should have prefaced that. Sorry, I know I just jumped right into the book, but I will say that Shae wrote a note at the beginning of the book that was like, this is a spicy novella. There is no plot or character development. Do not analyze it like that. And I'm here to tell you, Shae, sorry, but we're going to do exactly that, even though you just asked us not to. But Shae puts us into a date between Tyra and this guy, Denard. And as I was reading this book, I want you to know I wanted to call him Daryl so bad. I don't know why my brain just even when I was writing notes, I just wanted to call him Daryl. So if I do that during this podcast, please don't hold it against me. But Denard and Tyra are on a date. They got set up by Tyra's friend, Star. Okay. And he was such a gentleman. He planned the date with a little assistance from Star. And that is how Tyra ended up on a hayrack ride at some sort of fall attraction place that we don't really get a clear vision of what it is. Like, is it a pumpkin patch? Is it because he mentions a haunted house at one point, and I'm like, those are typically not at pumpkin patches, but you know,
well, yeah. Like a haunted corn maze. Or
yeah, something. Sorry, I keep hitting the table. This is what I get for still not having my office set up. Okay, so this is her personal hell. Okay. Denard is obviously reading the signs that Tyra is not having a good time, and he feels really bad because Star told him Tyra would love this.
Star is a bad friend.
And Tyra is like, I can't believe Star told you that. And if she wasn't pregnant, I would definitely commit murder. Like, she is so lucky right now that I cannot end up in prison. Like, I would kill you if you put me in a really bad dating situation. Sure. I'm not going to lie.
Which I just wouldn't do that. So good thing we don't have to worry about it.
I know. I'm also like, what joke would you take to what extent, right? Like, why would I ever put you in an uncomfortable situation with a friend? So yes, I do kind of low-key hate Star. So she's super uncomfortable on this hayrack ride. They're sitting with a bunch of randos, and on a hayrack ride, no conversation is private, right? Yeah. Everyone can overhear you. But you're sitting with this kind of cute guy. He's not typically her type. He's more artistic and sensitive, but she's willing to acknowledge he is attractive in his own right, even though he's wearing cuffed jeans, a white button down with a blazer and sandals.
Fascinating. I wonder where, I don't expect the book to have said where specifically this is taking place, but it's a very autumnal vibe on the date. And so sandals just don't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I was talking with a friend who was messaging a guy on Hinge, and she told me that she needs to cut it off with him because he says the word doggo too many times when referring to dogs. And I was like, what is the line? Like, what's the line where you're like, I'm willing to accept this? Like, because the sandals with the cuffed jeans would probably give me a bit of the ick. But if everything else is good, I don't know if I'd
fashion isn't necessarily going to be a deal breaker, but it is interesting.
Because I'm also going to tell you what really gives me the ick about this guy, which is that he continuously calls her ma chérie.
Ew. That is just not for me.
No, it's not for me. And she definitely thinks it's annoying. By the end of the book, she loves it. I'm
Okay.
just revealing that now.
Good for her.
Anyway, okay. So if your friend is setting you up, you might want to know, how did this friend meet this gentleman, correct?
Correct.
Well, Tyra actually met Denard at a coffee shop once when he was doing some video editing for Star because he's a filmmaker.
Mm.
And I'm sure you're asking, what kind of video? Is it like a family video, maybe a wedding video? It was her sex tape with her new husband.
Wow.
And they're like, that Star, she's so wild. Like, she's doing the craziest things. Like, and I guess they don't really explain how much sex work Star does, but they insinuate that there might be more than one sex tape. And he's like, have you watched her sex tapes? And Tyra was like, no, I could never. And
no, I know her, so that makes it a little bizarre.
Yeah. And then she's like, have you watched more of her sex tapes? And he's like, I mean, just for like research in the fact that I did this other video. Sure. I don't know.
Sure. Look, that's not my business, actually. I've changed my mind.
How would you feel if, and I want you to take like a really traditional approach to this of like, okay, you're going on a date with a guy who you're maybe seeing a future with, right? Sure. And he has watched the sex tapes of your best friend, but under the context, allegedly, of research.
I mean, well, he would have had to, like, he also filmed the one, so...
No, he was editing the one.
Oh, he was editing the one. So, like, I mean, at that point, to me, it doesn't really matter because in editing, you've basically seen 1 billion sex tapes over and over again, sort of. So, like, I don't know. It's fine. Plus, that's Star's job. And I don't know. I can't.
And it's kind of crazy because it doesn't sound like he does that on the regular. Like, it sounds like it was a one-off for him because he was like, that was wild. Like, I've never done anything like that. You know, like, so I'm also like, how did Star find you to do this? You know, where did we get to this point? Anyway, so she had run into him when they had that. And then Star was like, oh my gosh, you guys should get together, have a date, you know? So that's the context in which they met. While they're on this hayrack ride, he is getting the vibes from her. Obviously, she's not comfortable, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, let's just make the most of it. He's a pretty chill guy. He's pretty relaxed. Sure. And so he's like, let's just make the most of it. And she's kind of settling in. And they talk about this concept of like, how everything in life is a story, and having a story structure is important. It's very c'est la vie, okay? It's very, you know,
sure.
You know, just do it for the plot.
If you will. Sarah.
Okay, Sarah. So, okay, they talk about picturing things they want in life, kind of like manifesting as a part of this story arc. And so when he mentions, he's like, oh, manifesting, that's kind of like what my neighbor does. She's a witch that does these spells, but she's like super into manifesting. And then we just graze over that point.
Sure, that's just something to keep in our back pocket.
I just think multiple things in this book being 30 pages, I think multiple things in this book just get brought up and we just graze past it. It's like, it's okay. Oh, your friend did a sex tape with her brand new husband and I edited it and it was really, oh no, we're just going to move on to the next thing. That was crazy. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they're talking about the story arc. They're getting super cozy. Mm-hmm. Everyone is eavesdropping, right? So like the person across the hayrack ride is making eyes with them anytime they say something flirty to each other. At one point, this guy next to him is like, that was so smooth, you know, when he makes like a smooth joke.
So uncomfortable.
No, like everyone is listening. So they're talking about how the date would have gone and they're like, oh, well, like I would want to kiss at the end of the date, you know, and she kind of pecks him on the lips and she was like, why wait to the end? You know, like they're playing games with each other, the fun type of games. So the hayrack ride comes to an end and it's good vibes at this point.
Okay.
But then a bunch of things happen at once. What is the first thing that happens when a hayrack ride stops? Hope.
I mean, a bunch of people. Well, you're gonna lurch a little bit forward, just like
You
logistically
are?
speaking, and then I assume everybody's gonna stand up to get off of the hayrack ride.
Specifically, the young kids are going to come and try and jump off the hayrack ride. All the parents are going to clamor after them, trying to get them. And so everything is happening kind of all at once. And there is straw kicking up into the air. And because they were sitting on obviously hay bales, there's straw in the air, that's straw in the hair. There is, but there's also straw in the air.
Straw in the hair.
All the straw everywhere.
Straw do not care.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Seuss, you got this. So bunch of chaos. All of a sudden, she's like, there's straw all over the air, getting in her hair and on her body. And she looks down and realized that the hay that they were on had a bunch of bugs. So she freaks out and she jumps down. I mean, like,
Tough.
It's ruined the mood. The mood.
Much is happening.
Yes, the mood is gone. And so she's freaking out, shaking all the stuff off of her clothes. And Denard is just calm, cool, collected. And he kind of wanted to take her to the haunted house, but now he's like, I think we should just go home because clearly you hate this, and maybe we should do something else.
Yeah, like literally anything else since you were so uncomfortable.
Yes. And he points out that she does, in fact, have hay in her hair. So he offers to get it out. And this provides a cute little moment for him to like step close and her to be kind of crowded into his chest. And she can't help but get a little whiff of him. And he smells like citrus and sandalwood.
Wow.
And something a little musky. But according to Tyra, he didn't seem like he was the type to wear cologne, which, what do you think is the type to wear cologne? I
was like, I thought the type to wear cologne was anybody who feels like it.
Yes. So she's like, are you wearing cologne? And he said, no, it's more like a scented oil. And he's apparently being weird about this. And she's like, why are you being weird? And he says, I'll explain later. She's like weirdly trying to sniff him out, like trying to figure out what it is. And he like is obviously being so sweet and taking care of her hair and stuff. And after he's done, she starts itching like crazy.
Oh, no.
I think we don't talk enough about the fact that itching is one of the worst sensations ever.
It sucks. It is one of the worst ones.
I personally get bit up all the time by insects in the summer. Literally, I have scars on my legs and stuff from bug bites so bad. And I can't emphasize not being able, like, it, because it's also mental. Like, your brain is like, I need to itch this area so bad. So she says that she gets this need to itch from her head all the way down to her toes.
Oh, no.
And so she's like, I need to go home. Let's go home. And so he rushes to get her home. I love that you asked where they live, because she does say that wherever they are, it only takes them 10 minutes to drive home.
Well, that's nice.
So that's because at first I'm like, maybe they're in LA. He's a filmmaker, you know? She scratches the entire ride home. And as soon as they get to the house, she is sprinting inside, stripping off her clothes down the hallway. Meanwhile, Denard is recounting all the ways this date went wrong.
So many.
He's like, I understand that we were going to take a pivot, that we weren't going to stay and go to the haunted house, but maybe we would have gone for dinner. We would have had these really deep conversations and shared a glass of wine and, maybe leaned in for a kiss. All of a sudden, he starts scratching his back.
Oh, no.
And then his shoulders, and then his head, and then his feet. And he's like frantically enters the house, and he notices the trail of clothes to the bedroom, and he calls out for her, and he can't find her until he realizes she's in the bathroom, taking a shower. And he kind of calls out like, is there another bathroom here? And she was like, no, it's only a half bath.
Yikes.
And he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And so instead she's like, why don't you just hop in with me?
All right.
He is so desperate that he goes in and admits that while he's stripping off his clothes and frantically getting under the water, he's like, the last thing I'm thinking about is sex.
Simply too itchy.
He's like, I am tunnel visioned on that shower head right now.
Yep.
It does the trick immediately.
Oh, good.
Immediately soothes his skin, calming him down. And it's only once he's calm that he turns around and finally sees a very naked, very hot Tyra standing right there.
Oops.
She gives him one look and his dick immediately gets hard.
Wow.
I mean,
there you go.
There you go. That's all you need. She asks if he thinks it was an allergic reaction, and he admits, like, I have no idea. And they both kind of laugh off the fact of how weird this date has gotten, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he offers to leave the shower because he's such a gentleman, and she very convincingly tells him to stay.
Sure. Yeah, she's like, or you could just
or we could just
here.
stay. Then she starts very seductively washing him with a bar of soap, going about it in every way to make it sexual. I mean, like being inconvenient in the washing process to touch certain body parts.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So he's trying to think of anything to make his dick go down, like, oh my gosh, think about how hungry I am and all the phone calls I need to return and the bike ride I went on this morning.
I'm just not sure that I mean, if you don't want to have your dick up, obviously that's one thing, but it doesn't sound like you need to put it down in this moment.
They try really hard to make him such a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one very blatant way that I feel like he's not, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But he's trying to hold together his composure until she essentially starts giving him a handy. Sure. And it's important to note that Denard mentions, quote, shower sex only works in the movies, right? And her response is, quote, maybe not in their movies, but this is our movie. And I don't feel like that's like a grammatically correct sentence for what he said.
I mean, who's they?
Yes, exactly. Because her response would be the actors.
The movies of our personal lives. Our movie showers. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
Shower sex only works in the movies, right?
That part makes sense.
Maybe not in their movies, but this is our movie, which would have been a really great liner if she would have been set up correctly. But
even it can't make sense because like it only works in movies.
Yeah, so there maybe not other people's movies. She should have like emphasized because it sounds like she's saying there as in actors' movies, like in the movies, even though he just said it only works in the movies. Whatever.
Well, she just starts fully wrong though, because she was like, maybe she's saying maybe it doesn't in their movies, but does in ours. But it always works in movies, period. So it's not like it works in some movies and not other movies.
I think you and I are on the same boat. We're just saying it different ways.
Yeah, I'm just losing my mind.
No, I had to reread that like 4 times because I was like, no, girl, you did not say that the way I think you thought you said it. So whatever, doesn't matter. We're just gonna. So he ends up giving her 2 orgasms, one by hand, one by mouth in the shower.
One by hand, one by land, one by sea.
One by sea. Keep it 100 on the land. Sorry, I won't start singing Life of a Showgirl.
We cannot afford to.
We cannot afford.
We just can't.
So he ends up giving her these orgasms, and now he like gets her out of the shower, dries her off, and then immediately bends her over the countertop. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So here's my problem with the book. Okay. And with Denard as he is written, because he's trying to be such a gentleman. Because even at one point at the beginning, when they were talking about picturing the date, he made it known that he wanted a kiss at the end of the date. And she was like, oh, nothing more, and he was like, I would never be so presumptuous, right? Sure. He would never assume sex.
Sure.
So he admits that he has a condom in his wallet in the other room, but that feels too far away.
No, it's never too far away.
Then he just takes in the fact that she's not saying anything as a sign that she's not worried about it.
Nope, that's not how any of that works.
So then, no, it just gets worse. So then he decides mentally he'll just pull out.
Nope.
And while they're having sex, because of course they're going to Pound Town Raw, he asks her, are you on birth control? And she says, no, why?
Oh boy.
Why? Tyra? Why?
Why do you think, Tyra?
We're just not, ma'am, have you had the birds and the beasts talk? This is
This
how
is-
babies are made.
This is already the Say Smut moment right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Just timestamp it right now. It's this. It's this whole section.
That's exactly what I thought too.
Awesome.
So he says, I don't think I can pull out because it feels so good, of course. And she said, then don't.
All right. Well,
So he doesn't.
okay.
And after they're done having sex against the countertop, she says that it's fine because she's not ovulating right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, these are not foolproof plans.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Then they decide they're hungry. So he's going to go pick up something for them and she's going to wait at home naked. So she uses the opportunity to text her friend Star and give them an update, right?
Yeah.
When Denard gets back, he's a little bit itchy again. And she asks if the clothes he put back on still had hay in it. And he said, no, but I think it's something else.
Yeah.
I think it's my cologne.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember how he said
his weird cologne?
Yeah, you remember. I know you know where this is going because you did research. But he is like, remember how I mentioned that my neighbor is a witch?
Mm-hmm.
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 Apparently, he was leaving the apartment and to come on the date, and he ran into this neighbor, this witchy neighbor, and she said she had something that would smell good, and it turns out it's kind of like a love potion, and it has pheromones in it.
Wow.
And while he knows it sounds stupid, he's like, it's Halloween and I could use all the luck I can get because I know I'm not typically the guy that you go for. And I thought, what harm will it do? Right?
Sure. What harm could it possibly do?
And Tyra thinks this is so sweet, right? I think any girl would be like, oh, it's so sweet that you'd do anything, you know.
The idea is there.
Yeah. I will argue that I don't know how his oil would make them both react all over their bodies from head to toe.
H to T.
Yes, at the exact same time. If not her being before him.
Hard to say.
That's crazy.
Look, maybe that's just the way the magic works, and that's not for me to determine.
That's so true. It made me ask what kind of things would be in a love potion because she mentioned that like citrus and sandalwood, but I don't know if there would be a common denominator. So I asked you, what would be the types of things you would put in a love potion?
Yes, you did. And welcome to my research called Can't Find Love, Brew It Yourself.
That's a good one. I like that one.
It's just cute and it's just cute and little. Thank you so much to Google, to Tracy Dixon, who was contributing to Medium, and to spells8.com for my information. If you try to Google love potion ingredients, some of the first results you'll get are for a delicious cocktail by that name. This love potion commonly includes vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice, and cranberry juice. It sounds delicious and possibly more effective, but that's just my opinion.
As somebody who's, when I was drinking, my vice was vodka, I would fall in love with everybody. Yeah. You know, the amount of times I would bring a guy to like my friends at a party and be like, we're going home together or whatever. I would not say that actually. It would never be said out loud. But my friends would all be like, okay, Sarah has the goggles on. She is not seeing correct.
She's got those goggles
She's got those goggles.
She's drinking that love potion. Anyway, so that's like the first thing. If you just look up love potion ingredients, it's like cocktail after cocktail after cocktail. If you get really frustrated during that search and then try Googling love potion ingredients witchcraft, you'll find what Sarah actually wanted me to look into, which is in common ingredients that would be used in spell crafting today. So take anything I'm about to say, you know, as you will. According to spells8.com, and take from this what you will, quote, yes, real love potions exist and can be made. And then it said, although some modern day love potions are often made for self-love, not like everybody love. But
oh, that's nice.
That is nice. Spells 8 included one recipe that requires honey, apple juice, strawberries, and a candle, which I assume is for intention setting, not consuming. This website also had a list of love and joy herbs, which they included as being basil, cinnamon, lemon, rosemary, thyme, and violet, amongst other things. So possible that whatever was in this love potion that Denard had, it could have been some of those. I looked a little further because I didn't feel like that was very adequate. According to the Witch's Love Apothecary, crafting potions and charms with 11 essential herbs, which is contributed by Tracy Dixon on medium.com, the following, and this is a pretty long list, so buckle up, can be used in all kinds of love potions and charms. I think this included some of the love potions and charms with each herb. So we have jasmine, the flower of divine love; rose, the queen of love spells; patchouli, the earthy herb of passion; Damaina, sorry, I'm gonna butcher some of these.
Okay.
The herb of lust and desire; coriander, the seed of fidelity and commitment; cinnamon, the spice of attraction and protection; vanilla, the sweet herb of love and harmony; sorrel, the herb of love and protection; lavender, the calming herb of love and peace; yarrow, the courageous herb of love and protection; and rosemary, the herb of memory and lasting love. So really, a lot of different floral scent options to choose from.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like, I'm also like, how did we get to naming these types? I'm sure there's like story after story of like how we named these.
I have each individual of those that I just listed has like a little descriptor and like a couple potions you can use it in.
But I'm curious, like, like how did, okay, Rose become the queen of love? Like, I'm just curious, like, what's the lore that got us to believe that?
Well, according to this Medium article, the rose is the ultimate symbol of love, beauty, and desire. Its energy is perfect for spells that seek to attract new love, strengthen existing relationships, or heal a broken heart. You can use it in a rose love elixir recipe or a rose attraction charm.
No, I'm all for that. I'm just saying, who was the queen of the flowers that were like, this is what this one means, this is what this one means. You know what I'm saying?
Probably just through like, I don't know, storytelling passed over time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This is my guess. Okay, so do with this what you will, but I would heed this very important warning from spellsdate.com.
Listening.
It's important to understand the ethical implications of giving someone a love potion without their knowledge or consent for manipulative reasons. This is something that is frowned upon in Wicca and many other belief systems. Only you are responsible for the ethics of your magic and spellcasting. As general advice, if you are a beginner, don't target a specific person. Instead, cast spells to bring more love into your life and then let the universe do the rest.
It's kind of like only you can prevent forest fires.
Only you can prevent an ethical use of love potions.
So true. Consent 24/7.
100%. It's always about consent. Thank you for coming to my research. I
loved that. Thank you very much. Maybe someday we'll dive into the history of roses and lavender and all those goodies.
Sure.
I am just fascinated because I know like you'll hear like joking. I've never heard somebody seriously say, but you'll hear jokingly people be like, I'll buy a love spell off of Etsy or like whatever.
Sure.
It is. Okay. So like I said, Tyra thinks this is very cute. But this whole confession got her back in the mood. So she straddles him on the chair he's sitting at because they're sitting at the kitchen table about to eat their meal. And they started having sex again. And apparently when she texted Star, she didn't provide enough detail. So Star starts calling Tyra and Tyra answers the phone while she's riding his dick.
You had the absolute power to not answer your own phone. I'm just going to say that right now.
And just wait. She puts Star, I'm pretty sure, on speakerphone because at least Denard. Sorry, I was going to start saying the wrong name again. Mm-hmm. Denard can hear everything that's being said on the other line. And she's like, Star's prying. She's prying for more details. And she's like, well, maybe I should just come over. Like, well, what are you guys doing? You know, are you guys like watching a movie? Like she's prying and prying and prying.
Yeah. Are you having sex right now while we're on the phone by chance?
Well, Tyra like gets annoyed and then snaps at her, quote, we're having sex. I'm sitting on his dick right now. Okay. Can I go now?
You have the power to hang up the phone at any time.
And you didn't have to answer.
You did not have to answer.
You did not have to answer.
That's what I'm saying.
Nonetheless, Denard and Star are like laughing up a storm. And Star's like, I'll call you later. I knew that's what you're doing, but I'll call you later. Ha ha ha. And then hangs up. Again, Star, you kind of suck. I'm not going to lie. Not only do they complete the act at the dinner table, they continue to get it on in the bedroom all night long. Each time he finishes inside without a condom. And Tyra's response to the audience is, quote, I knew it was reckless, but every now and then a dick crosses your path and makes you do things you would never do otherwise. I would have never guessed Denard would be the one. He tricked me and I was glad.
Look, good for you, Tyra. Not for
Look,
me.
Look,
But
couldn't
good for
be
you,
me.
Tyra. Couldn't be me. But it is
Because
it's for you, Tyra.
I think what's crazy is that she knows it's reckless. And again, there was a condom in the scene. There was a condom.
And this is now not even the first time they've had sex. So time has passed in which one could have gone to get the condom.
Oh, and he went out. It's like, anything could have happened. Whatever. And we didn't even get like plan B or anything. And whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter, I guess.
We're not worried about it.
We get one more little mini chapter from Denard's POV, and it's him getting home the next morning. He's super fucking tired. And as he's walking up to his apartment, he runs into the witch next door, and she asks if her potion worked. And he reflects on it, and he's like, actually, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Oh, I mean,
the end.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah, kind of did. So that's our book. A little sweet one for the books, if you will. And to start our scorecard, diversity, I do want to note that she made it clear both characters were people of color, which cool. We haven't had that yet, I don't think.
Yep. More of that.
More of that for sure. Otherwise, I don't think we got an age range for any of these characters.
Just whatever your heart wants.
Whatever your heart wants, folks. But the next on the list is our plot, which, for Shae to warn us at the beginning that there was no plot or character development, true to an extent, but we did have a plot. We had a love potion.
There's a plot. Yeah. There's a whole witch that lives next door.
That they got itchy and they had to get into the shower, and then they came to the realization that, maybe they're opposites, but they're going to attract, yada, yada. So what are you going to give the plot?
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give it a 3.5 too.
Look, Star had a whole career.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff was happening.
That's so true.
I was here for it.
Smut, I will give this Smut a 4. I'm docking a point because there was a lot of sex for 30 pages, but I'm docking a point because of the lack of communication. It would be different too if they both were at an understanding of they could get pregnant and they were ready for that, I guess, on a first date. But I find it hard to believe that he was like, well, she's not saying anything.
Yeah.
So what are you going to give this Smut?
I'm going to give it a 4, and it is for the same thing because the entire condom situation really took me out.
Yeah. Hope you have a link there to see our cover. And I will say the cover goes well with the second book too. They have like a cute little, they're very
correspond.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm trying to find the other one so you can at least compare them.
Now, this is a book you can read on public transportation and nobody is going to bother you about it because the background, a beautiful white. The cover, lots of little black bats, kind of look like paper bats, very cute. They're in all kinds of different directions. And then it just says trick in a cute little orange font. It's by Shae Sanders.
Yeah, it's very discreet.
It says an erotic novella so small.
And I think if you're an indie author, like I always think that this is a safe bet to go. Like if you're an indie author and you're like, I don't have the resources to get a whole cover design or like pay for a cover design, or I don't have the skill set to make a cover. You know what I mean? Whatever that is, like this is a safe bet. At least it's on theme. The only thing is that I felt like there were no bats, so we should have chosen a different type of Halloween type thing. But that's a personal.
Well, maybe a little witchier, but it's cute. And the treat cover, in case you were curious, does look great alongside this because it is an orange background with cute little black pumpkins, and then it says treat in the same font but in white.
Yeah. Looks really nice.
Really cute side by side.
I am going to give it a 3 because, again, very low key. I wish it matched a little bit better, but c'est la vie, you know?
Yeah,
What are you going to
same.
do?
We are of one mind today. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give it a 3.
Great. We both ended at 70%, which is still
Wow,
good. I
that's
think
great.
I think for not being anything, paranormal or like sentient or like whatever, it had a good amount of sex.
Mm-hmm.
It had some wacky situations we got into.
Yep.
It had some intrigue. I just really wish we would have reconsidered that condom situation.
Yeah, it's a dual. My dual says smuts are obviously the condom thing, as I said it would be, and also literally answering the phone while having sex, and then kind of being mad that you're on the phone, something you could have controlled, and then being like, "Can I go now?"
Yeah, I 100% back you on those 2 points.
Tyler,
And then
that's so silly.
the slight one I have under that is how they would both have allergic reactions, even though he put something on and he would have it later than her, and like that whole and that she would have it all over her body. Just odd to me, but okay.
I can only assume. Hear me out.
Okay.
That was the witch's plan.
Okay.
It wasn't.
I mean,
that,
yeah.
It wasn't that the smell was gonna work. It was that as soon as they got close enough, it was gonna make them both itchy. So they would have to go home together. They would have to use her tiny shower together, and then since they would already be naked together, they would just kind of decide they wanted to hook up. That was the real love potion the whole time.
I understand, but just from an allergic reaction point of view, it doesn't make sense.
I don't like how your magic works because it doesn't abide by my rules of allergies.
It does. It does not. I mean, well, that is our book. We hope you've enjoyed it. In the meantime, communicate with your partners.
Look, do not let the condom being in a different room be the reason you don't wear one. That's crazy talk. Walk over there, get that condom.
Get that condom.
Go get that condom
or
right now.
Have a conversation earlier about, hey, are you on birth control? Hey,
maybe before you and by maybe I mean actually definitely before you start having intercourse, you should maybe 100%
sure.
Yes, talk about it.
And make your intentions clear with your friends who are setting you up on dates, that you don't want to be fucked with in that way. But be open to the story, be open to living life YOLOing, and we'll see you next time. Stay smutty.
Stay smutty. Hang up the phone when you're going to have sex. Don't be on there.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.